So I see on social media, it's pretty common to see people saying they don't want to work anymore or they don't want a job anymore, and people are kind of weighing in on that from both sides, saying people are too lazy, people saying it's just too hard, and I'm more into the camp of what's the point. I don't want to be a mooch. I still want to have a job. I've worked consistently for 15 plus years. I've been working for a long time. I'm a man in my mid 30s. I've been working for a long time. Not as much as a lot of other people, but it's just I can sympathize with all the people saying, "What's the point? I don't want to do it anymore." And it's not because I'm a lazy person. It's because there's just nothing to show for it at the end. And for the most part, I'm fine with just getting by, so long as I can get by. But full-time work isn't even enough to get by anymore. Working 40 hours a week, which, say what you want about that being too much or too little. When you're telling me this is full-time employment legally, and it's 40 hours every week, and it's not enough to pay my gas or bills or whatever miscellaneous rent, it's just not enough. Getting by is now not like getting by isn't even like a luxury anymore. Now that's the goal is to get by. And people go about this in different ways. They get a side hustle, they get a second job, they do whatever. But I think the reason more or less people don't want to work right now is just because there's nothing to show for it at the end. There's no piece of land to work. There's no house to buy. There's the only reward you get for being a good employee is extra work. They just give you 2 people's or 3 people's worth of a job. How do I phrase that? They give you like a 2-person job, and they just tell you to do it by yourself. Or for some people it's 3, for rare it's probably 4, but they're just trying to cut corners as much as they can. All these giant corporations and everything, I mean, they just want more for less. That's more or less the only takeaway I want you to hear is that these companies just want more for less. That's why people are so burdened. That's why they're so stressed. That's why they're checking out of employment, full-time employment. They just want to see their hands produce something, the fruit of their hands, the labor. They just want to see something. They want to see a vision of what's at the end of this job. When I clock in every day, what is it building towards? What is it leading towards? What is the life? Not even necessarily the picturesque life, just like, what is my vision? What is the goal here? Because at my last job, I was let go of because I was absent too many times for being sick. I got the cold, and then I got COVID, and I just missed too many days. So that's unfortunate, but that's just kind of how it is. But at my last job, I talked to my supervisor maybe like a few weeks before I got let go, and I told him like, hey, can I negotiate like a new wage or something, because I'm having trouble just getting by. And I told him in these exact words, I said, I'm just occupying my time here because my full-time work is not enough to just get by. And so he just was like, oh yeah, no, people in California, they're just living paycheck to paycheck. That's just, everyone's doing the same thing, man. And it's like, he brought it back around to, oh, but you gotta just make sure you're being productive and watch your productivity, and maybe you could work up, and because poor productivity does reflect on your performance. And he just, like, what I said went right over his head, that this job is wasting my time. And I still showed up every day until the day they let me go for being sick too many times. Granted, it was a temp agency, so they had every right to kick me out. This employer didn't have to keep me. I just went over a hardline threshold of absences, because I was just a temp. I was on probation as far as my hiring onboarding period goes. Some person that I probably never even met was the person that pulled the trigger on my contract termination, if that's how you want to phrase it. But I was telling my supervisor, I'm just sort of here. I'm just occupying my time because my full-time work is not even enough to get by. And he just made it about productivity. Well, just be more productive and try to work up, and he's just cared about managing the company's bottom line. There's no humanity in what he was explaining to me. He was just a manager. In fact, he didn't even work there. He didn't get hired to be a manager from within the company. He got hired on from outside the company with previous managerial experience, and because he was just a supervisor somewhere else, so they hired him to be the supervisor of us. They hired a stranger who didn't know anything about our production or the company, and they hired a stranger to come in and essentially just walk around. They just hired someone off the streets to be our boss that didn't know anything about the company or have any rapport with anyone there. And they actually hired 3 managers that weren't promoted from within the company. And I thought that was really odd. But I'm just sort of rambling at this point. Sorry if this is just a rambling video. I'm just kind of ranting. But yeah, people just need to see something at the end of this full-time employment. There's something at the end of this road. Sorry, somebody's throwing up right now. But yeah, there just needs to be a fresh vision, a goal, something to put your hands towards, something to work towards. But a lot of people are just fed up with not having anything to show for their work. And I guess that's it. I can get into the reasons why I think people are struggling right now, but I want to wait for this person to stop throwing up. I don't know if you can hear it, but anyways, that'll probably do it for this video.